Hey guys, how's it going? It's Baggins here, and today we're going to do something that I probably should have done a long time ago, and that is talk about Rogue Company's gameplay reveal trailer. Now, for those of you who haven't heard the news yet, Hi-Rez Studios, the guys who brought you Smite, Paladins, and more recently Realm Royale, are working on a new game. It's called Rogue Company. It's a free-to-play third-person shooter. Looks a little bit like it could be somewhere between a CSGO, Valorant, and Rainbow Six Siege, but it's in third person. Now, I actually had the experience of playing this game publicly at DreamHack last year, so this is back in November, so we're talking a little while ago now, and then a few months after that, at the end of March in this year, they released a gameplay reveal trailer. So I thought what I'd do is put two and two together. I'd talk about my experiences and my gameplay from back in DreamHack, from back at playing it publicly in November, and then we talk about the gameplay reveal trailer here and sort of add up the bits of the gameplay that you don't get to see, so you get an overall idea of what Rogue Company is, and you can know what to expect for the game, which is set to release apparently now in summer. I don't know if this tweet has been deleted, but I remember seeing a tweet that the game is coming out in summer of this year. Apparently it was also accidentally up on the PlayStation Store a few days ago as well, which has led to a lot of people recording gameplay and putting it up on YouTube and breaking NDA. So at this point, I'm kind of questioning whether it's really worth doing this video, since you can kind of just search for the gameplay anyway. But we're gonna do it because we need content and we respect NDAs. So, if you guys like this video, if you enjoy what you're seeing here, you'd like to hear more on Rogue Company, make sure you go ahead and click that like button, subscribe for more Baggins, and let's jump into this video, shall we? So we're taking a look at the Rogue Company gameplay reveal trailer. I'll put a link to this in the description down below if you haven't already seen it. But basically, it's sort of like a sizzle hype trailer thingy for Rogue Company. So you get to see a mix of cinematics for the game, as well as some actual gameplay here and there. So I'll be pausing the video throughout, giving my thoughts, and also breaking down bits of the gameplay that aren't immediately obvious. So let's go.
Wake up, American.
You guys ready? It's time to get paid!
Don't worry, Demo was born ready. Oh.
Follow my lead. Almost at the drop zone. Get your heads in the game. Let's put on a show!
So a little bit of context here, we get to see 4 different characters in the starting bay area, so you'll see shortly this is actually some sort of like helicopter, plane, military future ship. I think Rogue Company is set a few years in the future from now, so it's not like super futuristic. So we get to see 4 different characters at the start, and a little bit of an implied sort of nature of their gameplay. We see the woman with the sword, we see the American with the big revolver, the Russian with the explosives. You know, you kind of get an idea that each of the characters are going to have their own specific characteristics and playstyle, and I can confirm to you, based on what I played in November, that is the case. There are characters with specific abilities. Most of the weapons are shared, but some have their own unique stuff. It's where the abilities is what sets the different rogues apart. Dallas, for example, you'll get to see shortly, but he has a reveal. Dima has a grenade launcher. The sword lady, she has a throwing dagger that explodes. Now, I do want to say at this point, actually, before we go any further in the video, what I'm talking about is based on gameplay from November, and it's currently now June. Now, maybe this game won't come out until later on this month, or July, or potentially even like August. So stuff that I am talking about is subject to change. Indeed, maybe has already changed. We are talking about a version of the game that I played that is several months old now, and even this gameplay reveal trailer, maybe some of the stuff has changed in the game as well, but let's go. So the flying mechanic there is actually a little bit of an interesting one. When I first played it, it kind of seemed a little bit like pointless. Like, why are we flying out of a ship? Why don't we just like start on the ground like you do in CSGO or Valorant? But it actually serves as a purpose to see where the enemy team is. So they don't actually show it in the gameplay reveal trailer. And again, it may have changed. But when I played, you can actually see like a red smoke coming out from the enemy characters as they come out the ship. So you can see the enemy ship or the enemy helicopter on the other side of the map, and you can see smoke trails coming out from them as they descend to the ground. So it gives you like a rough idea of where the enemy is landing. So if you see all 4 smoke trails going to the right side of the map, maybe they're going for a right side flank, or maybe they're just like it's psychological and they're faking you out and actually they're all gonna then go left. A little bit of a weird mechanic. I don't know, I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about this. Kind of gives the impression that it's got it like a battle royale initially. When people see, you know, characters jumping out of a ship, it's very commonly associated with the battle royale from like PUBG and Fortnite, Realm Royale, and so many other games. But it's not actually a battle royale, as we'll, you know, as I'll show you more in the gameplay just now.
Keep up, Dallas. I'm down. Sniper.
Pinging that sniper for you.
I'm taking the flank. Today is not your day, huh?
So there was a few more elements that we got to see of the gameplay there. We got to see Dallas using his ability, which reveals enemies in an area. We got to see another one of the rogues, I've forgotten her name, but she can sprint fast and quietly to sort of go for a flank on the enemy, which is what she did there. She is also one of the characters that has access to shotguns, so not every character can buy a shotgun, at least again, when I played. It doesn't actually show you in this gameplay reveal trailer as well, but there is an economy system, so as you're killing players, you get to see the money pop up for killing or assisting, completing objectives, and you can use that money in between rounds. It sends you back into the helicopter ship, and you can use that money to buy weapons. You could upgrade your abilities. In some instances, you could buy armor or grenades. And once you've bought those upgrades, they kind of stay with you permanently. Or at least, again, they did when I played. So not so much the Valorant system where you have to buy a gun every round. Once you buy the gun, you own it and you continue to spend money on that gun to upgrade it. Same with the perks and talents. It's not like a buy it and use it once kind of thing in Valorant. It is a sort of permanent progression, so your character will get stronger throughout subsequent rounds. Talking about the objective as well, in case it wasn't abundantly clear there, we'll see a little bit more in the video as we go on, but the objective is to, just like in Valorant and CSGO, plant or defuse a bomb. And I think it's the first to 5, so whichever team reaches 5 plants or 5 defuses first wins the game. I could be wrong on this. My memory is a little bit spotty on exactly what happened when we were playing all those months ago. But yeah, the standard sort of game mode that we've seen in Valorant and CSGO, games like that, where it is a sort of, there's a bomb on the map and one team has to activate the bomb, the other team has to defuse it. It was actually a laptop back when we played, but it looks like they have changed it since then. I'm kind of glad that they did that. It was a bit weird to see people running, like, you know, flying in from distant locations, sending these elite agents just to go and hack a laptop in a small Italian town. So it looks like they've kind of stepped up and made it a bit more realistic and a bit more appropriate for the setting that is Rogue Company. Throwing sword girl. As the throwing knife that we talked about. A grenade launcher from Dima.
I really love these grenades. Rain pain, rain money.
So it's not made abundantly clear in the trailer, but when I played, you could only use your abilities once with, I think, the majority of the characters. It was once you'd use your grenade launcher, that was it. It doesn't regenerate, so it does have that sort of Valorant aspect to it, where it is a single time use per round functionality, so you gotta be careful when you use those abilities. Now again, this could have changed, but for most instances on most of the characters, you've gotta, like, you use it and then you lose it, so you do have to be pretty careful about how you use your abilities in Rogue Company. Some obviously can be game-changing if used at the right time, but if you flop and you fail and your ability is just wasted, then you give the enemy team an advantage. We also got to see the UI update in the screen to show you how many people are left in the game. If you do kill the whole enemy team and the bomb isn't currently, like, timing down, then you do win that round as well. So again, very similar to what we've seen in Valorant and CSGO. All right, more video.
You suck.
a pretty cool mechanic here. There is some of the maps, not all of them that we played, had zip lines on, which you can use to navigate around. When you're on the zip line, you can't actually control your character. We were just like sort of flying forward and moving. There was no way to stop, so you gotta be cautious when you get on these zip lines. They do look cool, but you do run the risk of just getting destroyed when you hop onto these things. On most of the maps they're on like the side of the map, and they provide a way to get from like, you know, go for a long range flank that you wouldn't be able to go to otherwise, but there's no cover. You're very much out in the open when you play it. So just a little bit more of an explanation about the zipline mechanic there.
You make this too easy.
That was actually pretty interesting. I never saw that ability. Some of these rogues maybe weren't there when we played in November, but the idea that you could throw the sword out and pull it back is actually a pretty cool ability. One of my criticisms of Rogue Company when I played it was that a lot of the abilities are pretty boring. You know, it's like grenade launchers, a throwing knife, a scanner that reveals people. Not particularly exciting things. You know, when you look at the abilities in Valorant, for example, I think the idea of like throwing fire down on the ground that can heal you or deal damage to the enemies, summoning walls of ice, putting crystals on the ground. Again, Valorant is more fantasy and this game's more realistic, so I know that they're pretty limited by what, you know, sort of cool, interesting abilities they could do. But that was actually pretty interesting, like maybe looks like a magnetic sword or something. Hopefully that was actually in the game and that wasn't just some sort of cinematic, but I guess time will tell.
Enemies have the
Lethal out. I've got the objective.
I think it was a little bit disconnected as to what was going on there, but that rogue that was on the ground has an ability to self-revive. Now, that actual rogue that we played in November, he looked different, but I'm gonna assume it's the same character. I think he might be called Phoenix, actually. But yeah, Phoenix can use this sort of stim pack thing in his arm once per round, and when he's downed, he can self-revive, or he can use it to gain a big boost of health so he can take a bunch of damage before he goes into a fight. You can only use it in one way, so you either use it to give yourself a health boost, but then if you get downed, you don't have it, or you can use it when you're down to self-revive. There is a down but not out mechanic in this game, so when a rogue takes a lot of damage, I think as long as it's not a headshot, they go down. Although it could still happen on headshots as well. I kind of don't remember. But yeah, you get downed if you take too much damage, and then your teammates have to revive you. At this point, I haven't actually mentioned, but throughout the gameplay, there is a limited amount of ammo that the weapons have as well. Or again, at least there was a limited amount of ammo. So it is possible to run out of ammo in the game if you're not careful with your shots. Especially on some of the weapons that you buy from the store. You can get like there was a sniper rifle for one of the characters that you could buy that had a pretty limited amount of ammo in it as well. But yeah. Let's keep watching the video. We're nearly at the end here. All right. Well, that was Rogue Company, guys. The gameplay reveal trailer, on one hand, gives away quite a bit about the game, and on the other hand, not so much. I think if you are in the position that I've been in, where you were able to play the game publicly, and you can, talk about those experiences. I wasn't required to sign an NDA when I went to DreamHack to play Rogue Company. Obviously, if you're playing the game now, there is an NDA, so, you guys got to be careful about what we talk about in those comments down below if you are actively playing Rogue Company. But the common sort of criticism and a lot of the comments that we see, especially on this gameplay reveal trailer, is that a lot of the characters look a bit robotic. They look like they're running around like they're constipated. And also the gameplay trailer is like a bit of just a in between everything. This guy here calls it Over Rainbow Fort 6 Rogue. So yeah, kind of just like a little bit of everything in it. Some could argue that maybe that will make it a bit bland. It doesn't, like, what would be the reason to play this over something like Valorant, which is just a maybe like more refined first-person version of this game. But one of the selling points and one of the reasons why I do think Rogue Company will still do pretty well is because it's available on every platform. When it launches, it's going to be on Xbox, it's going to be on PS4, it's going to be on PC, it's going to be on Nintendo Switch, apparently even maybe on mobile. It's also going to be free to play on all of those. I think there's going to be cross-play. So yeah, but just by being massively available on every platform and being free to play, it guarantees that it's going to get some player base. currently right now people can only play Valorant on PC, which I know excludes a lot of you guys watching this video. So yeah, I do think Rogue Company will actually be a reasonable size hit. Personally, the gameplay that I experienced in November, and it's sort of reinforced by watching this gameplay reveal trailer, it's not terribly exciting. Recently, I've kind of fallen in love with Crucible, and although that game is riddled with issues, I do feel like the gameplay is very fun. The characters, the options that you have when playing the characters, the talent system, the abilities in that game, the overall game mode of, like, you know, defeating the Hive and capturing its heart is just quite a bit more fun than, you know, find a bomb, plant a bomb, or defuse a bomb. I just feel like that objective is kind of pretty boring at this point. It's 2020. I wish we could come up with something more original, more exciting, but I know it makes the, you know, it's a reliable mechanic, it's a proven mechanic, and it works for esports and a competitive setting for the game, which is, I imagine, something that Rogue Company is wanting to aim for. Anyway, that is pretty much it, guys. I thought it would be handy for those of you interested in Rogue Company if I just filled in a few dots here and there to sort of explain the mechanics of the game. If you'd like me to dive deeper on anything in particular, let me know in those comments down below, or feel free to drop by in the stream and we can talk about it there. I'll put links to it in the description down below. But yeah, what do you guys think about Rogue Company? Is it something you're excited for? Are you a little bit hesitant based on what has happened with Realm Royale from Hi-Rez, worrying that it might be a, you know, Realm Royale 2.0 and that will go through the same pains that we had with Realm Royale? I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now. I'm going to end this video, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next one.